because of their style of play. They're very aggressive. They take a lot of chances. We really want to thank our fans. What a difference they made tonight. And I'll be happy to answer any questions I can.
Jon, how do you describe that finish? They put the T.J. Hudson on your head after the first touchdown. What's going through your mind?
We have too many employees, telling us a touchdown, it's over. And then we have some more people saying it's not over. But we learned a valuable lesson on the goal line. Baltimore stemmed their defensive line, and we jumped off sides. It's a crucial penalty. But our defense made a signature play at the end of that game, and I thought Derek Carr was awesome playing under some really tough circumstances today against a very good defense. Well, we lose good. Incognito's not playing. Jacobs was questionable to start. Kenyon had a pulled hamstring to a degree, and the Ravens are 11 guys up on the line of scrimmage. I did not want to have a negative yardage play or have a turnover. And our kicker was warming up in the net. No one could find him, but things worked out.
I asked you earlier this week about what you learned about your team through training camp. You said you wouldn't know until Monday night. So what do you know about them now?
Well, I did know that they're great competitive players. I mean, they love football. They play for each other. And I think the fans witnessed that tonight. We got a lot of young guys that really stepped up. But I'm really proud of the character they showed. We were down 14-0 to the Ravens, and it didn't look pretty, it didn't look good. But when you can come back and find a way to win against a team like that, that's saying something. That's an impressive victory. And like they say here, just win, baby.
Talk about not giving players too much sugar because you don't want them to get too high on themselves. But you've given Maxx Crosby a lot of sugar lately. He's done what he did tonight. What do you say about that?
Yeah, and Yannick pulled a hamstring. I don't know how serious it is. Obviously, he was out of the game. Carl Nassib had a big play at the end of the game. But Maxx backed it up. You do it day after day after day, and then you get an opportunity in prime time to show where you are. I thought he showed some things tonight.
That touchdown catch by Zay at the end there, did you guys run that play like 2 series before, and did you go back to you saw something you liked there?
Well, I don't want to get into all the specifics, but we knew they were going to all-out blitz. That's their history. That's what they do. You can forget about the throw and the catch. It's the protection. It was a great pickup by our guys, and Derek threw the ball retreating. It was just a heck of a play against an all-out blitz with the game on the line. But we had run a version of that play earlier, yes. Yeah, I give Edgar Bennett, our receiver coach, credit. Our receivers didn't get involved much early in the football game. We did try. But Humphreys, I think he's the best corner in the league, 44. We were persistent. I thought Ruggs made a big play to set up a score. And then obviously Edwards got hot at the end, and it's a great confidence builder for them. They're still very young players, but when you can make big plays like that in critical moments against a great defense, that should give them a lot of confidence moving forward.
Coach, in your career, have you ever been involved in a game like this before where it almost appeared like you had to win the game twice? Can you recall anything like this in your career?
I died and woke up and died again, and I was like a cat. I had multiple lives tonight. I don't like playing like that. It was tough, but again, we did a lot of really good things to win that football game tonight.
As a competitor and with the crowd bearing down on the situation, was it exhausting for you?
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, it's been a long training camp. We've had some adversity, and well, everybody knows what I think. That's why I came back to coach. There's nothing like that. And I just think this stadium, I think the people that were here tonight will probably go home feeling like they had a pretty good time. I just thought it was really a great scene. A lot of black, a lot of noise, a lot of devoted, committed fans that I just love and cherish. All right? Thank you, guys.
Sorry to bounce, but with Carl Nassib, you were a little thin. Obviously, the defensive line, he comes up with the big play at the end. How much has Carl meant to you guys?
Well, it's big. He made this big play at the end of the game. I think Gerald McCoy got hurt. Yannick was out. He playing Lamar Jackson. I mean, this guy's a magician back there. He creates so much offense, unscripted. Gus Bradley did a great job, he and his staff. And it's a credit to Rod Marinelli and certainly Carl Nassib. He has had a great training camp, and we're going to need him here, obviously, moving forward.
Last question, Vic.
Hey, John, Darren Waller had 19 targets. That can't be by design or something. What was your reaction to that?
We threw it 60 times probably, you know,
okay.
and if you threw it 60 times, you know, you'd probably target him 29 times. So I thought he mishandled a ball or two uncharacteristically. He had a penalty called back, a big catch and run. He's the best player I've ever coached, so I'm going to continue to look for him. And sorry about that, Vic, but you know, he's a hell of a player. He deserves some good looks.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys, have a good one.
All righty. Wow, that was fun.
Derek, great teams find a way to win on nights that they're not playing their best. How much of a foundational win can this be game one?
Yeah, I hope this is a sign of things to come for us, that we just, who cares how we do it? Let's just win, right? Vic's been here a while. A whole bunch of people been here a while, man. All I keep saying is I just want to win. So who cares if it's ugly or pretty? I do not care. We won the game. I'm celebrating that. That's the only thing that matters.
Derek, can you just go through mentally, what is it like? You guys are celebrating. You think you win the game.
Yeah.
And then mentally as a professional, how are you able to block that out? Okay, we got 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
Mentally, how are you able to go back out there and focus?
You know what's funny is I said to ESPN after the game, I was like, it feels like my career. It's just, it's like, yes, crap. You know, I was like, gosh, dang. You know, but, you know, we won the game, man. You know, and it feels so good. So especially to win the first one. Playing a team like this, defense like this, and a superstar like Lamar, you know it's going to be a tough fight, right? This defense, every time I play them, you know, it's hard to get one first down, you know, and to open up with them, you don't have any film on what they're doing that season, so it's just new, just coming at you from everywhere, right? But we were able to handle it. I thought at times, early on especially, we were not on the same page, communication-wise, execution-wise, and that always falls on my shoulders. And I'll get it better, so we need to before on a short week going to Pittsburgh.
Can you take us through the last sequence, the field goal attempt, delay of game, then the pass to Zay?
Yeah, you know, I was walking off. You know, I saw Coach Bisaccia come out signaling field goal, so I just jogged off, not really thinking about the clock. I thought they had it figured out on the sideline, and then I don't know what happened. I turned my back, and I was just praying we made it, you know. And I turned around, it was a delay of game. I was like, okay, well, he can still make this. And I'm like, get back out there. I hear in my headset, Coach calling a personnel, so I start running back out there. And help me. It was the very next, was it the next play? Very next play, yeah. That we threw it to Zay. Or, no, 2 plays. We ran a ball. No, we ran a ball, and then we threw it to Zay. But, yeah, I'm glad Coach trusted us and put it in our hands at the end because it always feels good to win that way, especially when you almost gave it away.
Derek, 2 quick things for you. One,
sorry.
right here.
Family. And I've said it to throw. I have them get up early. I say to beat the heat, but really it's because I need them to get going so I can go hang out with my children and my wife in the off season. But he's there every time. He's never missed one since he got here. And things happen. It doesn't matter. He's always there. He's always been there for me. And when I needed him the most, he was there for me. And regardless if he caught that ball or even went on that route, he's family to me. But the fact that he did, I just get to celebrate him, right? I get to celebrate his success. He had a rough time in Buffalo, and he found home here. And I hope he finds home here for a long time because I love that guy so much. The fans, there's a beautiful atmosphere, I think. Those of you that have been to any Knights games, you really felt that college-type atmosphere, you know. It was very home field advantage. You felt a home field advantage, you know. And this crowd here, same thing, Las Vegas. I tip my hat to you, man. You guys showed up, and you guys were quiet enough for offense, you know. but when our defense was, it's one of the loudest places I've ever been in, especially enclosed like that. It's up there. I would like to see the numbers on that, but it got really loud. But Las Vegas, they did their thing, and they helped us pull out that win. They were so loud, and it's so hard to communicate. If one person doesn't get, which we had a lot of today, if we have one person that doesn't get a check or something, and because we do a lot, I'm checking a lot, I'm doing a lot of things in Gru's offense. If we miss one thing, the play's not going to work. And if the crowd can help us do that for our defense, it's going to help us win football games.
Brian Edwards didn't have a catch until 37 seconds left in the game, and then 4 big catches late. I mean, what did you see out of him to just have that connection suddenly late in that game?
I just always trust him, Saw the coverage they were playing on him. Had to buy some time, actually a couple of times. Really learned a lot on the film from a couple of teams that were playing against him, just buying time in the pocket. Sometimes they bring blitzes, and you wonder if they have 13 guys out there. How do you do that and cover all these guys? I'm not serious. Hopefully no one writes that, right? But you have to buy time sometimes, even if they're unblocked. And I've tried to work on that because early in my career, if a play wasn't there, someone came free, my initial reaction is, well, I've been trying, throw it away, don't get a sack. Now, how the game's just evolved, I can buy time and find guys, and still be able to keep my arm in it, and that's something Coach Gruden has pushed me, and Ole has pushed me at getting better at. Johnny Moe, they pushed me. So to have that trust in him late, I know it meant a lot to him because anytime EB talks about it, anytime the quarterback makes a decision, I tell him, I got my 4 kids to think about every time I let that ball go. So I'm going to need you guys to win, and he definitely did.
Derek, you talk about telling a story. This game had both redemption and reward. How personally satisfying is that?
Yeah, I mean, we won. We should add that to my career winnings. Josh, probably add that one tonight. That one will help. I was just waiting for Josh to say something. I was kidding. I love you, man. I hope you know that. I enjoy it. You're just so negative, but I love you. But, it just feels good to win. That's all we want to do. That's all I want to do. I kid you not. I don't play this game for anything else. My family's taken care of. I don't care to be famous. Don't care about any of that. I just want to win football games and win a Super Bowl. We started with 1-0. That's awesome. We know here we need to finish the late season better, so we just need to trust our process on a short week against Pittsburgh, too.
The offensive line, a lot was made of the changes you guys made in the offensive line.
Yeah.
For the amount of times you guys dropped back and against that defense, seems like especially late in the game, they were holding up pretty well.
Yeah.
What did you see from them, and just how important was that?
Oh yeah, I think it's good confidence for the young guys. I mean, for me, I've played a season where I had 2 rookie tackles. We've seen a lot of changes sometimes, and so I've learned that it doesn't matter. You have to execute. It doesn't matter what's going on. You got to execute. And there was a couple calls that we're going to take a look at. We could have been better, but I could communicate better. I can help those young guys out. At this point in my career, I can do a better job of helping them play better for us. And so I thought they did a great job all day. There was only a couple calls on a few things, a couple checks, which is hard, especially playing this defense. I remember my first start was against Rex Ryan. I was like, gosh, dang, this is what the NFL's like, and then you play someone else, you're like, okay, it's a little bit better, But these guys, to handle what we just had to go through, you got to tip your hat to Coach Cable, and the players, their work ethic, that they've worked really hard at studying and preparing. Because late in games, we called on them to be one-on-one, and we trusted them, and they came through for us.
Derek, excuse me for not knowing the exact stat, but you have about 22, 23 come from behind victories in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
What place do you have to go to mentally and lock yourself in the fourth quarter to really get those games and come back from the victory?
Yeah, one thing I learned early in my career, honestly, it's my favorite stat. I don't know what it is, but it's my favorite one, out of all of them. Like that to me, those are wins, where a lot of those wins I've handed the ball off and we won the game, and I get a check mark for it. That's football, and that's how numbers go sometimes. But for me personally, I don't have to do anything different because I feel that I'm already there mentally. We started out rough. Nothing in my heart, nothing in my mind changed. And I just try and stay at that place all the time, that this play is that this is the one that is going to make the difference. And when you have years after years of rep after rep of thinking that way, it becomes where you're in those situations. Like Gruden came up to me, he's like, "We're never out of it." I was like, "We're never out of it," And that's just the mindset. That's that I say it because it's my favorite person ever. That's that Mamba mentality to always be your best self all the time, right? So it's not just late in the game. I just try and be that all the time on Monday, Tuesday, all the way through the week, so that when that time comes, I'm mentally ready. But earlier in my career, there was moments where you'd see the score, you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, it's overwhelming." You had to train your mind to dig deeper. Like, no, this thing ain't over, right? The next play, And so rep after rep. Now I'm at the point in my career where I've been through it. I mean, you've had so many opportunities at it that I don't have to think any different way. You just got to go execute. And it sounds kind of cliche, but that is what it is.
Derek, you've battled a lot here with a defense that maybe you couldn't rely on. What did it mean to you tonight, knowing at the interception, the end zone, this is a defense that can get
I'm going to hug you if it's allowed. No, I'm kidding. You know that. But I'll say this, that for 12 months, probably longer, definitely probably longer since I've been here, like we harp on the defense so much, right? And you hear this, you hear that. I've seen a lot of coordinators come in, come out. And for them to make the play at the end, to win the game and give us a chance after chance after chance. Just go back to the fourth quarter, the stops, the fumble, boom, we go down, the fumble at the end, boom, we get the ball back 2 plays later, game, like all the, I hope someone praise the defense, just they deserve it. Were they perfect? No. Were we perfect on offense? No, but we won as a team. And hopefully they get a lot of recognition this week because they deserve it, man. They've been through a lot. Coach Gus Bradley and their staff deserves a lot of credit.
Let's do 2 more. We'll go to Sean and then Jesse.
Derek, kind of on that note, while you guys were struggling a little bit as offense in the first half, it did seem like it was the defense that kind of kept you in the game.
Yes.
What did you see from them, not just in the first half, but kind of overall tonight?
Man, I've been through games. I mean, you guys know, like we've been through games. If we don't start, I felt sometimes if I wasn't perfect, we had no chance. You know what I mean? And I try and keep myself to that standard regardless, no matter what, right? And the fact that we weren't perfect and they held us in that game, they did. And they did it against a superstar, one of the best players in the whole world at playing football. You know what I mean? They were able to keep us in that football game. I tip my hat, and I love those guys because they were able to keep us in there to give us a chance to get our stuff right and then go out there and execute, get some points on board, and ultimately win the game. But, again, I hope they get a lot of credit tonight.
John said you guys ran a version of that play to Zay earlier on in the game. What's going through your head when you hear him call that one again and kind of licking your chops going to the line of scrimmage there?
Yeah, they all out-blitzed us again at the end, You understand they're trying to knock you out of field goal range, get the ball out quick, and make a tackle or force me to make a bad decision under pressure and things like that. It's, everyone knocks that call, at the end, but I've seen that call win games, and knock people out of field goal range where now you have to throw a Hail Mary, and those kind of things. So I thought when I came out, I saw it. And I literally yelled at Zay. I was like, "Hey!" And he wouldn't look at me because he didn't want the DB to know it was coming. I said, "Let's go!" I yelled at him, and he just nodded. He kind of looked at me, but he had a great release at the line. Hopefully, all the release people on Instagram can talk about his release now. But he made a great release at the line, and that's where he won the play. Was his work at the line of scrimmage. And I can't be happier. If I had to pick somebody, I'd probably pick Zay. Please let Zay catch the game winner because he does so much for us, and taking double teams and working. He works harder than anybody. So I sit up here and talk to you for 10 minutes about the guy, but I'm just happy for him, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of tired.
All right.
Good. Thank you, guys. Josh, I love you.
Carl, obviously it was a crazy overtime period. It looked like you guys would win the game, and then after having a turnover, you had to come back out there to the defense, kind of make a play. What was your mindset just going into that drive after all that happened, and then how did you kind of make that play, forcing the fumble with Lamar Jackson?
We wanted to play the last whistle blows. We fought hard. Everybody, no one blinked throughout the entire time. I was running on the field. I thought that was the first touchdown. But we got back, got settled. No one blinked. It was awesome. It was a really great team win, for sure.
Carl, I saw a fan tonight who was wearing your jersey number. He said he'd never been to an NFL game. He was here after he heard what you'd done, came out. And he said people kept stopping him. Right on, right on, right on. I wonder what your feelings are about that and just having happened on a big stage. That's the first regular season game since you made that announcement.
This was that's amazing. That's a great story. I love that. Wish you could have seen the kid. But yeah, it was really special. I'm really happy that we got the win on the day that kind of made a little bit of history, which was really, really nice to do. Had a lot of people come before me in the LGBTQ community that helped me get to where I am, and I'm super thankful for that. I can't wait to get to Pittsburgh next week and keep this thing going.
Carl, for the defense last year that was much maligned, it didn't play well last year. How good did it feel this year to go out on Monday Night Football and make a statement that things have changed?
It was on the defense last year, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, appreciate it. We just wanted to get better, and we're not stopping here. We're going to keep playing. We got a lot to improve on. I had mistakes out there. We had miscues. Ravens are a great team. Pittsburgh Steelers are a great team. So we're excited to get better. Appreciate you.
Derek said that he's not sure he's played in a stadium this loud. Can you just talk about how loud it was out there and how the fans kind of propelled you guys today?
It was bananas. And there was, I played at Penn State, so I don't know. It's a toss-up. But they got to learn when to be loud. We got 4th and 1, and they're louder than when we're on. When the defense is 4th and 1. So we love the enthusiasm. It was absolutely incredible that the fans are back. This is my first experience with Raiders fans. By far, best NFL fans I've ever seen. They're incredible, and really lucky to have them here and have all their support.
Carl, Jon said he felt like he died a few times before that game was over, just ebbs and flows of it. But how did it feel to be part of that defense that kept the game in it? Coach, yeah.
Coach Jon, what was the question?
How did it feel to be part of that defense that, especially early when the offense was struggling, to be able to just, hey, don't worry about it, keep doing what you do, we're going to keep you in it?
I mean, our offense is incredible, and we knew that if we just stayed with it and they were going to make their plays, and we never doubt them for a second, however long they were, I don't even know if they struggled in the first half. We just kind of worried about the defense. But like I said, nobody blinked. We had a great time out there. Got a great team, great locker room. So, yeah, it was great. A lot of greats. Your new adjective.
Carl, you and Yannick and Maxx were the 3 defensive ends on that were active today. It was just you 3. How did you guys rally around that and put so much pressure on Lamar Jackson in this game?
We all try and play up to his standard. Those guys make me better every day. We got a great D-line. This is the best D-line I've ever been a part of, and it's really exciting stuff. Those 2 are great pass rushers, and I'm learning from them too. Even though I'm older than them, they're just really playing as hard as they possibly can, and I'm really excited for both of them.
Of course, with your fumble, which was a huge momentum swing, how much emphasis has Coach Bradley and Coach Marinelli really put into really getting after the ball?
I mean, the ball is everything. Getting turnovers is, the make or break a good defense. So we, have a takeaway circuit every day. So yeah, it's definitely important. I was glad I can get the ball out in a really clutch situation.
Carl, you guys are in overtime against a quarterback who's been running around. You guys have been chasing him around all game. You're down a couple linemen. Just in terms of the fatigue level, how do you sort of just rally up that in order to be able to?
You got to give Rod Marinelli some credit. He, his individual is a beast. So we felt good. We felt like we still had gas in the tank at the end of the game. So a lot of credit goes to him. He's a great coach, and Lamar is one of the best players in the NFL. So we were really excited for the challenge and glad we came out with a win.
Carl, what do you think about the significance of this win for this moment, first game for a live audience? I mean, what does this mean in that scheme of things?
A lot of firsts today. You know what I mean? It was great. I was really taking it in as much as I could, even before, just throughout the game, little things. I've played in a lot of games. Now this being my 6th year, and I try to make sure I really remember every single game, and I won't forget this one. So I'm just happy that we got a win, and we got a great team, and really happy.
All right. Thank you, Carl.
Hey guys, have a good night.
Maxx, just kind of overall, from a defensive standpoint, you guys were pretty active in getting in the backfield from a pass rush standpoint tonight. What was going well for you, and you in particular having 2 sacks and a few quarterback hits tonight?
Yeah, we've been I talked about it this offseason. We've been working together. We really take this job seriously. Quentin, Johnny, all these guys, byline, you see everybody make a play. Carl getting a back at the end. Every little thing matters. Practice is emphasizing the little details and putting an extra work. I feel like that was a good start for us, but
Maxx, for somebody like me that covered you a little bit in high school and at Eastern Michigan, you've always been relentless with effort. I'm just curious tonight to see your defense be able to go out and respond and get and put you guys in a position to win. How special was it for you?
Yeah, it was awesome. Obviously, a lot of people didn't really see us winning that game, before it. So, we hear everything. So we just continue to work and put our head down and show up every day with a purpose. And I think we did that. And, it's a great start, but, we're worried about Pittsburgh now.
Maxx, obviously, Carl was in the news a lot, this offseason with coming out and that whole thing. To have him make the play at the end of the game, just how much does that mean? How much do you guys rally around him, and how much do you think that means to him?
Yeah, it was awesome. Carl, he works super hard, and you see that. It's the biggest play of the game. He comes down, gets a strip sack. That's what we talk about all the time. So we're super proud of him. Carl's a baller, and I'm proud of the guy.
Hey, Maxx, sorry, it's a little bright in here, but what's going through your mind that last sequence when you win the game the first time and they come and say, no, they were short, and you guys, what's going through your mind at that point?
Yeah, ever since I've been here and even at Eastern in college, we've never made things easy on ourselves. We're like, we thought it was a touchdown. We're storming the field, shaking hands, and then boom, the false start happens, and it was like, oh my God. But, we stay locked in. We had to get another stop, and we did, and we took the ball away, which we were, trying to get all game. So, that's a credit to the coaching staff and my teammates.
Is this the game you guys win last year?
I don't know. Last year. We lost more. We were 8-8, so it doesn't matter. We're worried about this year, and one game at a time.
Obviously, a lot of big plays in this game, but what would you say was like the one defining moment? Is there a defining moment in this game? And if so, what play do you think that was?
I just, for me, the thing that stood out was just so many different guys making big plays. So, everybody was flying around. Zay Jones catching the game-winning touchdown, one of the hardest workers I've ever been around. You see Carl getting the strip sack at the end. You see Darius Filine blowing up a play, getting a TFL. You're just seeing everybody flying around. And Quentin Jefferson, that's another guy I want to, talk about. That dude works so hard, and he runs to the ball like crazy in practice. And today, flying to the ball, puts his helmet on it, gets a turnover. He's working like crazy. And Yannick, obviously he got dinged up a little bit, but you just see this group, everybody's working so hard. And, I just love playing with this group. And, it's a good start, but we just got to keep going.
Maxx, last year you guys didn't have the crowd to try to affect the game. You had that tonight. How special was that?
Yeah, it was crazy. Obviously the fans were going wild, and that's what you play the game for. You do it for the fans. Everybody is so invested in Raider Nation. Everybody on the Raider side of things love it, and we don't want to let anybody down. We do it for the fans. We do it for our families, and want to make everybody proud back home. So everybody showed up today, and it was a crazy environment, and it's exciting to see.
Maxx, it was you and Jan and Carl that was the edge rushers that were active today, and yet it seemed like from the start of the game all the way, you guys were affecting Lamar Jackson in the backfield, and all the way to the end, Carl making that last play even after Jan left. How did you guys rally to find it from start to finish the way you did?
Yeah, for us, we didn't even know what it was going to look like exactly until a couple days before. So, for us, we just stay ready. We push each other every single day. So no matter who's going to be up, we're going to be ready. So it was amazing. I don't even know how many snaps we played. I really don't know. But everybody was ready when their name was called. So that was super encouraging to see, and I think we did a great job today.
Maxx, this was your first football game ever being a team captain. Do you take any pride in your performance tonight just in terms of your leadership and your intensity you brought to the defense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love this team and I love this organization. So for me, having the fan base there going crazy, I've always taken it very serious. But being a captain, it's even, it's a whole nother level. So I never want to let my teammates down. They look to me, for an example of somebody who works hard and shows up and makes plays and does everything they have to do to win. So that's what I'm going to do every single day, and I've been doing that, and, I'm just going to continue to, keep going.
All right. Thank you, Maxx.
Oh, yeah, that's my guy. Tell him I said what's up. I appreciate it.
Hey, Josh, Jon Gruden said that he felt like he died, came back to life, and then died again. Can you take us through just that last sequence for you and the emotions of it?
Yeah, it was definitely an emotional roller coaster. Everybody ran out on the field, and we was all kind of like celebrating, shaking the other team's hands and things like that. But, you know, they had a lot of respect for us. I mean, in that moment, they was telling us, like, y'all got a good team offensively and defensively. And they was like, man, y'all kind of deserve this game. So when we heard that it wasn't a touchdown, we was like, how this going to go? You know, they got 8 on the other side, so we never knew how it was going to turn out, but we put it off.
Josh, your status coming into the game was literally they downgraded you to questionable because of an illness. How worried were you that you would be able to go today, and how did you feel today?
Hurting. I was hurting, but, I mean, I had to beg them to play, honestly. They didn't want me to go today, but, yeah.
Josh, for you and this team to go out and win in the fashion that you did, especially the first game, does this set a standard now for the season?
I mean, yeah, I think it do set a standard, obviously, because they're a good team. But, I mean, looking at the game, just from my point of view on the sideline, it was a lot of mistakes that we had made. So we got a lot of room for improvement. So just coming out tomorrow, we're going to look at film and just try to improve from there.
Josh, we talked a lot about the offensive line going into this game, what it was going to look like. You have an injury, good goes down. How do you think they did anyways with Derek throwing the ball as much as he did?
I mean, against that defensive front, them young guys, man, you know, the couple of little mishaps that they had, but for an overall standpoint, I mean, for the first game of the center, Andre's first game and Leatherwood's first game starting, I think it was definitely huge.
Hey, Darren. Coach Gruden said that you're the best player he's ever coached. You had 10 catches. Is this one of your better birthdays?
I mean, dang, that's crazy that he said that first off. But, I mean, yeah, it's been a great birthday, you know. It's been a great birthday since I woke up this morning, you know, just woke up grateful. I got my family in town. Just to be part of the team, you know, and then to have a game like this team-wise, you know, to weather the roller coaster that was at the end of the game and just come out victorious, that was amazing.
Darren, how it finished is one thing, but how it started, what was it? Was that frustrating with you? I mean, it seemed to be looked like one of the more frustrating performances early on in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, that's life, you know. Came out there and it was big on big, you know, going against Marlin. You know, there were some passes that, you know, I feel like I could have brought down that were tough, but. You know, you just keep showing up, you keep playing. You know, you got to keep stay in charge of that voice that's in your head, you know, because it could talk you out of things. It can, you know, make you think like, oh, man, like this isn't the start we wanted. Like things aren't going well. But it's like, you know, you keep talking to yourself positively and, you know, things start to turn around. You start to make plays and then they start to, you know, worry about you. And then the other guys start making plays. So, you know, it all works out.
Darren, what do you think kind of changed in that second half just overall as an offense for you guys? It seemed like you started having a lot more success than early on.
I think it was just more so a mindset. You know, I feel like we were moving the ball well. I feel like some penalties were really the things that were hurting us. But people just got in that mode. It was like, you know, we can really move the ball at will, and our tempo can really dictate whenever we wanted to. So it was just that clicking mentally, and guys were like, hey, like no matter how the first half felt or looked to anybody, you know, it's a one-score game. So we are in this to the end, and we never going to give up.
Obviously, you guys did a lot of good things tonight, but with the short week, preparing for week 2, what are some of the things that you think you need to clean up a little bit, maybe improve to get a W for week 2?
You know, I feel like, you know, the Ravens forever, you know, they've had the exotic blitz packages and they got home on some. So I would say, you know, just as a offensive unit, picking up protections, especially going into Pittsburgh, you know, they got a real solid defense. So I would just say that. And, you know, some of those short yardage situations, like I think we got down there when it was like 17-10 or something, and we had like a 4th and 1 and we didn't get it. So just converting those short yardage situations and making them count because, you know, if you want to be a winning team, you got to make those happen.
Darren, in the past, you guys haven't had a defense like you did tonight that all of a sudden an interception happens and a lot of people would have been up, it's over. But how special is it to be an elite offensive player with a team now that has a defense that you can rely on?
It's awesome to see the defense go out there and do what they did. You know, especially, you know, shout out to the linebackers, man. I feel like 2 of the 3 that was out there most of the night only been here for like a week or so. So shout out to those guys for just stepping in and being leaders, being quarterbacks on the defense. You know, it's just a different shift, different mindset ever since, you know, like guys like Yannick got here. Just the mindset that he brings every single day is just like, you know, we're going to go out there and be a force. And guys are starting to buy into that. You can just tell that they're just playing simple football and it's fun and they're just flying around. So I'm very happy for them.
Hey, Darren, how would you describe Derek late in games? Do you notice a change? I mean, he's pretty clutched in the last few years. What do you notice about him in those situations?
Very calm. And he always says the right things at the right time, if that makes any sense. Just very encouraging, yet challenging at the same time, like a combination of the two. And it really makes guys feel like they can do it, but it also challenges them to, bring their best out. And so there's never really any panic in the huddle. There's never really any uncertainty or, guys just, mind everywhere else. It could be in the crowd noise. It could be in, it's getting down to crunch time. But Derek does a good job of having guys with, like, a centralized focus.
Darren, you had a monster game, but your guy, Zay Jones, who's loved by everybody in the locker room, had the game winner. What were your thoughts on that?
Big Zay Jones, man. I mean, we have deep life conversations. He lives in the neighborhood right across the street from me, so just hanging out with him a lot over the summer and, just talking about life, the ups and downs, and just to see him go out there and make that happen, man, that's like seeing your brother go out there and do something crazy. So shout out to Isaiah Jones.
Last question.
Darren, John Arbaugh said in the past that with your success of your career, he wished that you could have done that in Baltimore. Did you have any nice interactions with him before or after the game?
I didn't actually get to see Harbaugh. I think when I went out there pregame and warmed up, he wasn't out there yet. And then after the game, I just didn't get to him. But I saw a lot of the assistants. Saw a lot of, still a lot of players there that I played with and was there with for a while. So a lot of great moments, a lot of, good conversations. Like, those are guys that, really were trying to help me and really wanted to see me succeed. And they still feel the same way. And it was just a great moment.
All right. Thanks, Darren.
Appreciate it.